The real-life story of Blackbeard the pirate. Blackbeard, the infamous pirate whose real name was Edward Teach, or Thatch, is a legendary figure whose life and exploits have been shrouded in myth and mystery. Born around 1680 in Bristol, England, Teach's early years remain largely undocumented. Little is known about his upbringing or how he came to be involved in a life of piracy, but historical records suggest that he may have served as a privateer during Queen Anne's War before turning to piracy sometime around 1716. Teach's rise to infamy began when he joined the crew of the pirate Benjamin Hornigold, who operated in the Caribbean. Under Hornigold's mentorship, Teach quickly distinguished himself as a bold and audacious pirate, displaying a keen sense of leadership and strategy. By 1717, Teach had risen to command his own ship, a captured French vessel which he renamed Queen Anne's Revenge, fitting it with 40 cannons and making it a formidable force on the seas. One of the most striking aspects of Blackbeard's persona was his appearance. He grew a thick black beard and tied slow-burning fuses into his hair and under his hat, creating a fearsome and intimidating visage. During battles, he would light the fuses, enveloping himself in a cloud of smoke, which added to his mystique and terrorized his adversaries. This theatricality was a deliberate tactic employed by Blackbeard to instill fear in those he targeted, making it easier to overpower them without unnecessary bloodshed. Blackbeard's reign of terror reached its zenith in the early 18th century as he prowled the waters of the Caribbean and the eastern coast of the American colonies. His tactics were ruthless and cunning, often relying on surprise attacks and psychological warfare to achieve his goals. He would appear suddenly, flying his flag emblazoned with a skeleton spearing a heart, a chilling symbol that signaled surrender was not an option. One of Blackbeard's most audacious acts occurred in 1718 when he blockaded the port of Charleston, South Carolina, capturing numerous ships and holding the city hostage for a ransom. This brazen display of power sent shockwaves throughout the region and solidified Blackbeard's reputation as a fearsome pirate lord. Despite his ruthless reputation, Blackbeard maintained a complex relationship with colonial authorities. He often received pardons from governors in exchange for bribes or promises to cease his piratical activities, only to return to his plundering ways shortly after. This cycle of pardon and piracy continued for several years, with Blackbeard eluding capture and striking fear into the hearts of sailors and merchants across the Atlantic world. However, Blackbeard's luck eventually ran out. In 1718, a concerted effort by the British Royal Navy and colonial forces led to a dramatic showdown off the coast of North Carolina. Lieutenant Robert Maynard, dispatched by Virginia's governor to capture or kill Blackbeard, engaged him in a fierce battle near Ocracoke Island. The battle was intense and bloody, with Blackbeard and his crew fighting ferociously against overwhelming odds. Despite being outnumbered, Blackbeard refused to surrender, and it took multiple wounds from Maynard's men to finally bring him down. In the end, Blackbeard was killed, his head severed and hung from the bow of Maynard's ship as a grisly trophy. Blackbeard's death marked the end of an era in piracy, but his legend lived on. Tales of his exploits and larger-than-life persona continued to captivate imaginations for centuries. His name became synonymous with rebellion and defiance, a symbol of the struggle against authority and the romanticized notion of life on the high seas. In the centuries since his death, Blackbeard has been immortalized in literature, film, and popular culture, with countless books, movies, and songs recounting his adventures and legacy. His ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, was discovered off the coast of North Carolina in 1996, sparking renewed interest in his story and the history of piracy in the Atlantic world. Today, Blackbeard remains one of the most enduring and enigmatic figures in history, a symbol of the human desire for freedom and adventure, as well as the darker impulses that lie beneath the surface of civilization. His real story is a complex tapestry of ambition, violence, and the struggle for power in the lawless world of the Golden Age of Piracy.